Hello again, I'm Michele McIntosh-Ross, Principal Planner with the City of Milton. And in this segment, I will talk to you about Milton's future land use and land use policy and how land use decisions affect the character and vision for the city. The future land use map and the policies associated with it is the most important task of the CPAC. At this time, you can put me on pause while you get your 2016 comprehensive plan. I'll refer to the pages in the plan that you should review before the CPAC meeting on February 25th. So you should have this document in your binder, and you can pause while you get that, and we will take a look at that plan. I'll tell you which pages. As you know, we are on our third comprehensive plan for the City of Milton. There was a plan adopted in 2011 and then in 2016, and we are building on both of these plans. And we're working on the plan to be adopted on this 2021. In the 2011 plan, we established a vision and our future land use map. The map got rid of the inconsistencies that existed on the Fulton County map. We created our own land use categories and definitions that were suitable for Milton. We established the 8 character areas and narratives, and this is something that you should read before the CPAC meeting next week, and that starts on page 36. You will see that the character area narratives are followed by a chart that shows the land uses that are compatible with that character area. The character area map exercise helped the CPAC of 2009 and 2010 determined that Deerfield, Crabapple, and Arnold Mill would be future development areas where some non-agriculture and non-residential uses would be located. And you see that today with Deerfield, Crabapple, and Arnold Mill, possibly with some nodes. And we'll make some decisions during this comprehensive plan process with taking a look at Arnold Mill. Okay, the future land use map. As you can see, there are 2 maps, as I mentioned in the first slide. In the previous slide, there's a future community map. I'm going to slide this over, that shows the character areas, 8 character areas that I mentioned, and their narratives in the comprehensive plan, starting on page 36, that talks about each of these character areas and what land uses are associated with them and how they should develop into the future. Deerfield, Crabapple, and Arnold Mill were designated as future development sites per master planning. So there was master planning done for all 3 of those. And you may be also aware of the Birmingham Crossroads, which was a plan done under Fulton County back in 2003, 2004. And there is a commercial node at Birmingham Crossroads, Birmingham Highway and Birmingham Road, Hickory Flat, right at that corner. So just some information there. That community character area map, with understanding and getting a consensus of what all of these character areas vision would be, then we were able to go in and create our future land use map, which gave land uses and definitions throughout the city. As we moved through and created form-based code, as you would have heard in Bob's video, we placed those form-based codes areas at Deerfield and Crabapple, and you'll see that most of our commercial is within that area. So the future land use map, this is the map that gets held up in court as evidence and proof that a community is serious about their future. And the City of Milton has done a really good job of making sure that everything is consistent between the future development or future community map and the future land use map and the corresponding zonings and the narratives. So we were able to be successful in court, and we have a recent success story here, our most recent victory for Georgia in Georgia Supreme Court. I need to move this around. So this article is February 4th, 2021. And I'll just put myself here. And it talks about Milton prevailing in the legal battle over rezoning request. When we did our comprehensive plan in 2016, it was up for discussion for land use changes, and we did make some changes to the land use map. The community did come out and participate and held firm on some changes that were considered. They held firm that those changes should not be made, and so we did not. And so subsequent zoning requests that came in for that parcel that was inconsistent with the land use, because we made the decision so recent and we were adamant about it with our narratives, that the court was able to deny that request. And you can see here in the article, it says, although the state Supreme Court never examined the merits of the case, we were confident that the city's clear plans for the future development of the property, as reflected in its comprehensive plan, would have provided immensely valuable support for the city's decision to deny the rezoning request. And this is from our legal department, Ken Gerard. This just goes to show how important the land use map. He goes on to say that challenges to decisions made in compliance with an existing and approved comprehensive plan is usually rarely successful. The challenges are. So kudos to our land use map. We want to continue with that. On this end, it talks about how our citizens spoke during the comprehensive planning process. And again, with this rezoning application was presented, and we were glad that our combined efforts coupled with exceptional legal representation led to the desired outcome. So if you want to go pick up an old Herald from February 2nd, you can do that. Other communities are looking to Milton and seeing that having a land use map like ours is really what you want if you want to be successful in court with denying rezonings that you don't want. So this is our 2016 land use map. Up close a little bit, of course you can't see, but that much, but it is on page 67 of the 2016 plan. The narratives associated with the land use categories and so on, they start on page 60 if you want to start there, and then at page 67 is where you'll find our map. So we will be looking at this as a CPAC to reconcile changes that were made throughout the 5-year interim. Our form-based code is on the map. As you can see, that's special to Milton. We also placed the TDR parcels. Some of the TDR parcels are showed on this map, and we'll be taking a closer look at this map at the February 25th CPAC meeting. These are the categories of the land uses, and we included the acres of each. Okay, so we have several land use categories. I will go over the residential categories because most of our non-residential or commercial and mixed use are located in Deerfield, and it's encompassed in the form-based code. So we have the AEE, which is the agricultural, equestrian, and estate residential category. Okay, and this category consists of scattered single-family homes, each at least 1 acre. They're typically several acres, though. The land use promotes hobby farms, equestrian facilities, and large lot residential estates, including minimum 3-acre lots on the gravel roads. We have the low-density residential, which is also 1 unit per acre. So we'll have a discussion on that at the upcoming CPAC meeting about further defining those two land uses. Then there's medium density residential, and we have 3 categories. Allows for up to 3 units per acre, but we have medium density residential, which is MDR 1, 2, and 3, and as you can see, has some different lot sizes on there. Then we have the high density residential, which goes up to 5 units or more. And that is where you would find our townhomes located in high density residential. But most of those as well, because we did form-based code in Crabapple and Deerfield, which allows for the townhomes and condos and so on, then we get design standards associated with it and more of a mix of uses. So we tend to not want to have some high density residential land uses outside of the form-based code if it's vacant land. So we'll have a discussion when we roll all these maps out at the CPAC meeting. So just wanted to show you the land use compatibility chart. It's here. So we have our AEE residential, and then the zoning categories that CPAC felt was appropriate. CPAC and staff back in 2016 was the AG1, R1, R2, and H. H is the historic. These others are residential. As for the low density residential land use, AG1, R1, R2, CUP, which is a community plan area, and then H, and so on. So these are all our residential land uses and our compatible zonings, and we'll be taking a closer look at the CPAC meeting. So here are some considerations from the 2016 plan. Explore 5-acre zoning categories for the TDR parcels. Explore the establishment of a city-sponsored TDR bank. And these are all related to land use and what we'll talk about on the 25th. Also explore incentives for bigger lot estate homes. Establish incentive packages to encourage the retention of farms and equestrian facilities. Explore options for undertaking future land use map